Imagine waking up one morning and realizing you never have to pay a house payment again. No mortgage, no monthly burden hanging over your head, no countdown to the first of the month. For most people, that sounds like freedom. But here's the strange part. Some people become wealthier after they pay off their house, and others quietly stay stuck. Same milestone, completely different outcomes. So what actually changes when your house is paid off? And why does this moment, something people wait decades for, end up being a turning point that separates two very different financial lives? Most people grow up believing one simple idea. Once your house is paid off, you've made it. It feels like the final level of adulthood. No rent, no EMI, just peace. And honestly, it does feel amazing, because for years, sometimes 20 or 30 years, you've been living with constant background pressure. Every decision is shaped by that one monthly payment. Can I afford this trip? Should I switch jobs? What if something goes wrong? The mortgage quietly controls your life. So naturally, we assume once it's gone, everything becomes easy. But here's where most people misunderstand money, because paying off your house doesn't just remove a bill, it removes a structure. And without that structure, your financial life changes in ways most people don't expect. Let's break this down simply. When you have a mortgage, your financial life has a built-in system. Every month, a large chunk of your income goes toward one goal. You don't debate it, you don't negotiate with yourself, you just pay it. That forced discipline does something powerful. It turns you into a consistent saver without you even realizing it. Now fast forward to the day your house is fully paid off. Suddenly, that monthly payment disappears. Let's say you were paying $800 a month. Now you have an extra $800. Sounds great, right? But here's the question no one asks. What happens to that $800 now? Because there are only two paths. You intentionally redirect it toward building wealth, or it slowly disappears into your lifestyle. And most people don't choose. They drift. Think about it. When your expenses drop, your brain doesn't automatically say, "Great, let's invest more." Instead, it says, "I finally have room to breathe." So you upgrade small things, better food, more subscriptions, a nicer car, more comfort. Nothing feels extreme, but over time, that $800 gets absorbed, not into wealth, into life. And this is where everything changes. Because before your house was paid off, your money had direction. Now it has freedom. And freedom without direction often leads to stagnation. Let's compare two people. Person A, they pay off their house, celebrate, and continue living normally. Their expenses slowly rise to match their income. That extra money, it disappears into lifestyle upgrades. 10 years later, they're comfortable, but nothing really changed. Person B, they also pay off their house, but they treat that moment differently. They say, "I've been paying $800 every month for years. I'll keep doing that." Except now, they pay it to themselves, into investments, into assets, into future income. 10 years later, they're not just comfortable, they're financially independent. Same house, same payoff moment, completely different future. The hidden psychological shift. This is where things get really interesting, because the real change isn't financial, it's psychological. When you have a mortgage, you are used to obligation, structure, consistency. When it's gone, your brain enters a new mode: relief, flexibility, comfort. And comfort is dangerous for growth. Not because comfort is bad, but because it removes urgency. For years, you were forced to act. Now, you have to choose to act, and humans are not great at self-imposed discipline. We're great at following systems, but when the system disappears, so does the behavior. This is why many people save aggressively while paying a mortgage, but save almost nothing after it's gone, even though they technically have more money. The deeper insight. Here's the truth most people never realize. Paying off your house doesn't make you wealthy. It gives you the opportunity to become wealthy. Because what you've really gained is not just extra money. You've gained control. And control is powerful, but only if you use it correctly. Think of it like this. Before, your money was on autopilot. Now, You're the pilot. And that sounds exciting until you realize most people don't have a flight plan. So they drift. They maintain their lifestyle. They enjoy the relief. They stay comfortable. And comfort becomes their ceiling. But the people who truly benefit from this moment, they see something different. They don't see no more payments. They see, I just unlocked a cash flow machine. Reframing the situation. Let's change the way you think about a paid-off house. Instead of saying, I don't have to pay anything anymore, think, I now have a fixed monthly amount I can control. That monthly payment you used to make, that's your new wealth-building engine. Because here's a powerful idea. If you were able to live with that payment for 20 years, you don't need to stop now. You've already proven you can do it. The only difference is, now the money goes to your future instead of your past. Why this moment is so important. Most people think wealth is built through big decisions, starting a business, making a huge investment, getting lucky. But in reality, wealth is built through consistent behavior over time, and paying off your house gives you one of the rarest things in personal finance, a large, consistent amount of money that you're already used to living without. That's incredibly powerful because you don't need to sacrifice anything new. You just need to continue what you are already doing. Here's the trap. People treat paying off their house as the finish line, so they relax, they reward themselves, they slow down. But financially, it's actually the starting line of your most powerful phase, because now your risk is lower. Your expenses are lower. Your flexibility is higher. This is when you can take smarter risks. This is when you can invest more aggressively. This is when you can accelerate, but only if you recognize it. So what should you actually do when your house is paid off? Keep it simple. 1. Don't absorb the extra money into your lifestyle. Pretend your mortgage still exists. If you suddenly feel richer, that's a warning sign. 2. Redirect, don't relax. Take the exact amount you were paying and automate it into something productive, investments, index funds, business ideas, income-generating assets. 3. Maintain the system. The biggest advantage you had was not the house, it was the discipline the house created. Keep that system alive. 4. Think in terms of cash flow, not comfort. Instead of asking, what can I spend now? Ask, what can this money build? Paying off your house feels like freedom, and it is. But freedom comes with a hidden challenge, because when no one is forcing you to move forward, standing still feels good enough. But the people who truly change their lives after this moment, they don't stop. They simply change direction. They take the same discipline, the same consistency, the same monthly habit, and point it toward wealth instead of debt. So the real question isn't what happens when you pay off your house. The real question is, what do you do next when no one is forcing you anymore? Because that answer is what changes everything.